up the airwaves. Pluck up the airwaves! Pluck up the airwaves! Pluck up the airwaves!
Well, the summer's short, but the days are long, and I got a tape of my favorite song. Let's blow up work, hit the road, no destination, just on the go. Cause a road trip's what we both need, because it's two, just you and me, to go ride with me in my MGB.
That was two from the Downstrokes, Time Bomb and Come Ride With Me in My MGB. Thank you all for tuning in. This is episode number 40 of Punk Up the Airwaves. This is Tim for Sushi here. We started you off with Want You Bad from the Dwarves, and we got a good episode for you this week. We got an interview with Mr. Gerry Lafamina from out in the mountains of Maryland. We're going to tell you all stuff. You don't know who he is. You should know who he is by the end of this interview. Really good. Let's just get right into it. Here we go. All right. Punk Up the Airwaves.
All right.
Kenny Paulstank sitting across from me in a virtual reality.
Just we're
We're going to try to do another interview today, huh?
That's right. Yeah, today we're welcoming Gerry Lafamina from the band The Downstrokes, and he's involved in all kinds of stuff, and we're going to go through it.
Kind of a modern day legend, wouldn't you say?
I'd say absolutely 100%. This guy is a leader in the community. Just an all-around great guy to know, great guy to be involved with, the band and all that shit is fucking great. And you ought to go. Savage Mountain is just an experience. And now, is he on yet?
I let him in. But, in true Punk Up the Airways situation, there he is.
The Airways fashion will be fucking it all up, right?
No, he's trying to put in an entrance.
Right. Here he comes.
Give that little drum roll he deserves.
This is also, ladies and gentlemen, this is a punk poet. And he's even got books that have been, fucking, what's it called?
Published?
Published. There you go. There's the word. That's right. This is Punk Up the Airwaves, and everybody listening to Gerry Lafamina from the band The Downstrokes and Savage Mountain Punk Festival and the punk poet himself. How you doing, Gerry?
I'm doing great, Kenny. Happy to be here.
Absolutely, brother. I couldn't wait for this. This is probably going to be my favorite interview, man. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to tell the people a little bit about you, a little bit about Savage Mountain. So anyway, that's right. Savage Mountain is in Frostburg, Maryland. So this is a yearly fest that happens, and there's other shows too that they do, but the festival itself is a 4-day festival right now?
3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay, no Sunday anymore, huh?
No, no. We're old. The older we get, the harder it is.
To go in that Monday morning, right?
It's it used to be Friday, Saturday with the two shows on Saturday, because the venue didn't have all age capacity. And when we moved to Cumberland, we created a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but we got rid of the matinee because Mezzo's is an all age venue.
Okay. All right. So if anybody doesn't know what Savage Mountain is, this is a place that, for me, it was all about community. That's the feeling I got all around, is everybody's a supporter. And everybody, it don't even matter if they're punk rock or not. This could be somebody just showing up out of nowhere and don't even know what this music's about. And it's all inclusive. Everybody's welcome. That's the feeling I got. This is absolutely 100% my favorite place to play. I love you guys. I love the Downstrokes. And for anybody who don't know who the Downstrokes are, I mean, if you like stuff like, Nick Lowe and fucking The Jam, The Who, early Who and shit, and you like good rock music that fucking kicks your fucking ass, and that's what it is. That's what it's about. Now, Gerry, you're also a punk poet, though, right? How many books have you gotten published right now?
I have 20 books right now. I have
a
novel. I have a novel called Clamor, a book of stories, about 16 books of poems and prose poems, and then I've written books about poetry. So So a lot of that. I've also edited a bunch of books. I'm co-editor of a book right now of bad gigs, musicians telling the stories of their worst gigs, which is a riot and includes a whole bunch of musicians of all sorts. You know, I don't like to be bored, Kenny. That's what it boils down to. I really don't like to be bored. So
I've noticed.
I'm actually working on a book right now in which I talk about 20 albums. Each chapter is focused on one record from the diversity of my record collection. So I've written about Sandinista and Road to Ruin and the second Susie Quattro record and Meet the Beatles, which was the first album I ever owned. And now I'm working on one about Steel Pulse. And the idea is to have 20 about 15-page chapters on each album, but they're all about the artist and they're about my life and they're about pop culture and they're about what was going on when the record came out and about 101 other things.
Sweet. So the Downstrokes, you guys got something new coming out?
We just finished up in the recording studio, so we have a new album coming out. It'll be out in the fall called This Close to Vertigo. 10 songs. It'll be mastered by Mosh Giorgini from Sonic Iguana.
Nice.
We're super excited about that. And then we're going to release in the spring a split album with the Prozacs. In fact, we just played with those guys up in Massachusetts on Friday. And had an absolutely terrific time. I mean, Jay Prozac is one of those guys, you know, you talk about scene. So he puts this show on in his hometown. He puts this show on and he basically says, my band's not taking any money. Even though it was his drum kit, you know, their cabinets. I mean, like all this gear that we used was theirs. And then he put us up for the night. He was like, I'm not taking any money. I'm like, hey, you got to take money. He's like, no. But, you know, I mean, you mentioned the Savage Mountain community, but it's one of the things I loved about punk rock to begin with. For me, punk rock is all about community, about helping each other out, about being there for each other. If it's
Absolutely.
not that, you know, then it's just like every other community. And I left that shit.
Right.
When did you start Savage Mountain?
Savage Mountain started in 2016. Our first festival was in 2016. It was small. Basically, I started it because I had a bar that we played in that I loved, and that when the students left town, it was dead. And I said, look, you know, what if I wanted to throw a 2-day punk festival? And they said, well, we don't want to be in. We don't want to, you know, what if you can't pay for it? You know, we don't want to be stuck. And I said, well, I'll make sure the bands get paid. I'll cover the expense. And my attitude was, if I went to a 3-day festival in Baltimore or DC and paid for the show and paid for drinks and paid for a hotel and, you know, parked my car and all that shit, what would it cost me? And I put that money aside. And I said, I can pay the bands. I can guarantee the bands this much money.
Oh, wow.
And and we did it, and it was good. It was good. It was all regional bands, you know. We had the Moneys were touring, and we grabbed them from Boston. And we had the Nuclears from New York. But pretty much it was all bands from about 2.5 hours away.
Which are great, by the way. The Nuclears, man, they blew me away the 2 times I saw them, man. They were fucking great.
Nuclears were incredible. I miss those guys. Wish they were still together.
Yeah, that's right. They broke up a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. And then so we did it, you know, so I basically said, well, let's do it a little bigger the next year. And we brought in the Undead, like we brought in a couple touring bands. I doubled how much money I was willing to pay because, you know, the bar let me drink for free and I ate the band food that the local pizzeria donated. And, you know, people kept giving me shirts and shit like that. So it was like, oh, wait, you know what? I would actually spend more money or so I put more money in, but I never actually spent that whole amount. I always, money came out of my pocket, but it was never hitting the budget I set for myself. And then the third year, we had Argyle Goolsby and the Trip Keeper 5. And a whole bunch of Blitzkid fans came out for Argyle. And it was like, okay, now the club was into it because now people were coming from all over the area, right? I mean, people were started for Argyle Goolsby, we had people from Colorado show up. People were saying to friends from out of town, hey, if you're going to come visit this summer, you should come this weekend. And then we had the Queers, and the Queers changed everything. So that was 2019 when we had the Queers, and the place was a madhouse. And the bar had bought something like 1,100 cans of PBR for the weekend for the festival, and it was sold out by Friday night.
Nice.
So the
Kenny
bar
must
was
have been
doing
there that
okay.
night.
So suddenly the bar was like, we want to do this. And then COVID happened. We had Richie Ramone scheduled for 2020, and that failed, obviously. And the bar closed because COVID happened. And we moved to this place in Cumberland, which has been great because Cumberland has hotels within walking distance of the venue. The venue is 3 stories. So we have the club area is in the basement. We call it street level. People actually can stand outside and look in through the window at the back of the stage.
Oh, wow.
Nice. But that's mezzos, huh?
That's mezzos. And, we did it the first year at mezzos in 2021. And we had Reno Divorce and Sloppy Seconds. And it was crazy. During Sloppy Seconds, that there was about 220 people in the room. And then upstairs in the restaurant area, there was about 20 people passed out at tables. And then I went outside and there was about 30 people on the street watching from outside. It was so fucking hot.
Wow.
And I was like, this is amazing. And the venue wanted to keep doing it. And so, last year we had some headliners fall through. Always when you're dealing with touring bands and particularly bands in which people might be a little older, things don't always work out for whatever reason. But we had Blank 77 last year and Mephistopheles, and we had Handguns, the sort of 2010s pop punk band for the 3-night headliners, and it was great. And then this year, the funny thing is this, so we created a nonprofit, right? We're a nonprofit punk arts organization.
Oh.
I get grant money. The Maryland State
awesome.
Arts Council and the Allegheny Arts Council and the city of Cumberland and the city of Frostburg give us money.
That's great.
They see it as tourism. We're bringing people in.
Absolutely.
And so I love this. It's so last year, we had Blank 77, and at one point, and the other thing that's happened is we fostered this whole sort of. There's so many young punk bands floating around, and there's a punk band in town, sort of punk hard rock band called Brickyard Folly, and one of the members is the son of the chief of police in Cumberland. And so, in the middle of this punk show is the chief of police in uniform. And he's like, this is fucking amazing. And I said to him, I know you're here to see your kid play, but I like how you wore your uniform so you didn't have to pay.
Here's some free coffee.
There's buy-in from everybody. You come to Savage Mountain and you get a little business card with all the names of businesses that'll give you discounts for eating there or shopping there, or places will give you a free cup of coffee The restaurant up the street was giving out free beignets at the French restaurant. I mean, it's really amazing. I get so many local businesses, and I don't mean tattoo parlors. I get those. But I get so many local businesses, coffee shops, restaurants, liquor stores, vape shops, record stores, but also, bakeries, my chiropractor, the local eye doctor, all support it. They all write checks.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
And it's amazing. And then we have a great beer sponsor. After years of working with Flying Dog, we now have Dogfish Head, which is amazing. McClintock Distillery in Frederick has been a longtime supporter of us. They are, and I mean, what is more punk rock than a small distillery, right? Than this place that is like, I am making the best product I can make and taking care of my community and taking care of my people. That's fucking punk rock. And Brayden at McClintock, he puts out an amazing product, and his people come, they show us how to make drinks to the bar. They come to the punk picnic and they're selling bottles, and they make especially punk cocktail. So they designed a couple of drinks for the festival. They had a New York Doll, which was their white whiskey margarita.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
It's just amazing. Like it's such this, and Kenny, what you said about people come in. Yeah. I mean, so many people who come every year, and I'm blessed. I'm like, I'm not religious at all, but I'm fucking blessed with this. People come every year. I have people who are asking me the last day of the festival when next year's is, so they can book their hotel or their Airbnb. They come.
That's what it is. And what he's telling you is this is a blast, man. You're having a blast the entire damn time. And also, let's backtrack a little bit, Gerry, because you mentioned that you get food for the bands, and that's all. You didn't kind of say it, but that's what it is. The bands get fed also when you go there, and it's a fucking beautiful experience just for the bands alone. But if you're just sitting there partying with these people and everybody else, you're having a ball no matter what.
You know what? I'm a firm believer that people get taken care of. You come to my house, I will feed you. I had some kind of nightmare, the amazing, touring machine that is some kind of nightmare. Their van broke down in my house. Their van died. They had to junk it. And they stayed with me for 19 days. I don't say it to brag. I say it that, hospitality is a thing, restaurants and clubs and what we do. We're the hospitality industry. Well, motherfucker, I'm going to be hospitable. You come to play for me. I'm going to give you drink tickets. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to work it out. And, Mezzos, I have a great relationship with Mezzos. And what they do is they set up a green room, and they basically say at 8:00, these dishes are going to come out. They do it buffet style. And they say at 10:00, these things are going to come out. And I always say, you got to have a vegan option. You got to have them. They just work with us. And really it is, it's easy to say I do this. I don't. I have a 10-person board. I have probably 30 volunteers for every festival. I have an incredible staff at Mezzos that works their asses off. I'm just the guy who had a vision, but I also had a whole bunch of friends and people who I'd never met before who have decided what you're doing is really important, and I'm in.
And you said it's also
so there were people.
Definitely, the support system is amazing out there.
And
it seems like you got that same support system
for this.
That's right. It seems like you got that same support system all throughout, America, at least, I see you going back and forth with the Downstrokes from, up in New York and, everywhere else, Boston. And, it's fucking beautiful, man.
We are.
I love seeing you guys tour.
And you said it's also expanded to the Savage Mountain Picnic as well?
We do 4 major events a year. So we do our sort of spring kickoff, Last year it was Richie Ramone. This year it was Electric Frankenstein. Sort of like, hey, we're gearing up for Savage Mountain season. Then we do the Punk Picnic, which is this coming Saturday, Hoffman Park. In fact, we just looked at a place in case we have to rain move it. But
Yeah, I heard about that.
Weather's looking like it's going to hold, so we're happy about that. Then we do the
That's what it
festival,
looks
and then in
like to me.
October we do Punktoberfest. So this year's festival is August 10th, 11th, 12th. And then in October, on October 14th, we're bringing the Coffin Cats.
Oh, wow.
For
Nice.
Punktoberfest. We're gonna do an entire like crazy psychobilly sort of event.
Hell yeah.
You know, I just feel, people often say to me, "Oh, don't you miss living in New York?" And I think to myself, I couldn't do this in New York. I mean,
Oh, I'm sure you could, Jerry. You can do it anywhere the fuck you want, man. You're a man who gets things done. That is absolutely, I believe that shit for 100%, man. You can be on the fucking moon and get a punk rock concert out there, bro.
Yeah, but there's something about there's venues that need business that are willing to take a chance. In New York, and I just was there. I was at the Parkside Lounge. I was in a great venue run by an incredible guy named Steve Krebs. Does these shows. He calls them the Endless Party. Krebs has been on the punk scene since I was a kid. He's a couple years older than me. I remember him from, when I was 15 years old. His band, Krebs and the Maynard G's, are like the New York Dolls on steroids. I mean, I just love them.
Now, speaking of when you were a younger lad, now, weren't you in a band called Expletive Deleted? Something like that?
I was in a band called Expletive Deleted when I was a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid. First show I ever played as a punk musician, I opened for Suicidal Tendencies at CBGB's.
Oh, wow.
Man, that's amazing.
I had the good fortune to play with bands like Sham 69,
wow.
the Suckers, Agnostic Front. We were really fortunate. It was a great time to be, a kid in a place like New York, where nobody carded, everybody played music. And all the bands from back then, playing with like Toxic Reasons and MIA, like those sort of memories are killer. When I left New York in 1990, I was in a ska band in Michigan for a couple of years. Got to play with bands like Toots and the Maytals, Bad Manners.
Nice.
I've just been fortunate, and I'm a firm believer that every time you're given a gift, you're obligated to give it back. You're obligated to give it forward. Some people have said, "Oh, how come the Downstrokes play Savage Mountain every year?" We're not playing this year. I would rather give that.
Now, Jerry, I'd like to touch in on that. I saw that guy. I saw that comment. That guy's a jealous little prick.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude, man. Come on, man. Don't let those guys upset you, man.
It's all good.
Hey, why do you want to take? Because you fucking love it. That's all he fucking needs to know.
Yeah, but you know what? I could take a year off. I play a lot. And if I could give it to, like I said, we have so many new bands from this area. If I can give that slot up and give it to somebody else who deserves it, one of the things we're trying to do at Savage Mountain is we're trying to archive the history of Western Maryland punk. We have flyers going back to the 80s. We have talked to people going back to the late 70s. And one of the things we're doing is we're doing a reunion show by a local band. I mean, we're trying to start that every year. So this year we have the old Western Maryland hardcore band, Barbed Wire Necktie, playing at this year's festival. Okay. And you know what? If I have to step back and let these guys do it, who were doing it long before I landed here, my pleasure to do that.
You got me excited because you said reunion. I was like, oh, expletive deleted is coming back together.
We did it the first year. The first year we did an expletive deleted reunion.
Oh, wow.
And it was
so correct me if I'm wrong. Joe Jessen's in that band, right?
Joe Jessen, our who is on our board and comes every year to do sound, and comes to the picnic. He drives out from Connecticut.
Speaking of community,
He's totally into it. He loves coming. He's got a band. He's got a new band called All Out Loud, and they're playing Thursday night at the festival.
Yep.
And he's super excited about that.
Hey, speaking
a
of the
little
festival again,
frustrated that it's Thursday, but
right? Hey, speaking of the festival, did you mention the headliners yet?
Headliners this year on Thursday night. The headliner is the Ravagers, and
Which
right
are
before,
fucking blow you the fuck away. They
the
fucking
Ravagers
are
are
great.
amazing.
They will blow you the fuck out of this world.
They are so good. And right before them, right? So I'll give you the two. I'll give you the two tiers. So Thursday night headliners is the Ravagers, and right before them, Rebelmatic from New York, who are uncontrollable. I mean, this is an all-black hardcore band from New York who just rips your face off and says, "Eat it."
So you're not going to get us the SC?
The SC?
Yeah, the super.
I'm getting there.
Don't rush the man, Kenny. Don't rush the man.
On
You know, this
Friday
is
night,
going to be aired for a couple of weeks.
on Friday night, we have the Pie Tasters.
Oh shit! Okay, I thought you were just going to do the other. That was it.
No. Friday night we have the Pie Tasters coming, and right before the Pie Tasters, oh shit! I can't believe I forgot this.
I'm not even sure if I heard about the Pie Tasters yet. Holy cow, man, that's fucking great! Jeez, that's a new one to me.
Friday night is the Pie Tasters. Oh, right. And Doc Rotten.
Nice.
Right. So Friday night you have Doc Rotten leading into the Pie Tasters to close out the night.
Hell yeah.
And Saturday night, I'll give you the last three bands. The last three bands on Saturday night are the Huntingtons, moving into the Cheats, moving in to Supersuckers.
That's right, baby. That's it. Oh, Supersuckers. I thought it was Super Drunk. My bad. Supersuckers, which is even better, man. That's fucking great.
Supersuckers is going to be insane.
Wow.
And, we're already talking about 2024, right? I mean, we have to. So we're already talking about bands for 2024 and talking to bands.
Now you're going to have to answer that question again. When's the next time you're going to have this again, Jerry? It's already Friday, but again, whatever. Look, what are you doing again?
We're also, I'll tell you now, we're also talking about 2026 right now, because 2026 will be our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
And you better know.
You got to be prepared for that.
We are going to be prepared for that. We are going to, we're going to break out all the stops. And there are bands that we've talked about, whose name we've talked about, whose agents we've talked to. We spent a lot of time talking to Scream for the last 2 years. I think Scream at Savage Mountain is going to happen. We spent a lot of time talking to TSOL's agents.
Jerry, I know you like cats. You guys want to meet my daughter and our cat?
Look at that. Hi.
This is how professional we are, Jerry.
Oh my God, Kenny,
this
your
is
daughter is so
fitting
cute. She
my
looks
lovely
like
daughter,
you.
Chloe. So yeah, he's the boy of the house,
Yeah.
All
What a
right.
cute cat.
If you delete this, I'll be so mad. All right.
You got to keep all of it.
Yeah, yeah, we're kind of cat guys. I got a little cat community out here, little ferals and shit all running around. So
Speaking of ferals, there's one over there.
Well,
So you're a dog guy, Jerry?
no, I'm a cat guy.
Cat guy?
Cat guy. Total cat guy.
Sign up.
I think Gary are
Just
recording.
one cat?
Three. We have three
Three.
cats. One of our cats is named after a very famous punk chef. Bourdain is named after Tony Bourdain, who we always just called him Kitchen Tony. He was 6 years older than us. He wasn't Anthony Bourdain in '85. And then another one of our cats that we adopted last year from the shelter was this little kitten, this sweet ass little girl. And I said to Mercedes, I said, what are we gonna name her? And she said, we're gonna name her Kim Shattuck because she's such a little muff. And Kim was my friend, and her death from ALS was really kind of terrible to me and to so many people. And I love the muffs, so we keep her spirit here with our cat Kim Shattuck.
Oh, awesome. Love the most.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're cat people. You know, we love cats. Hey, Jerry, real quick. So I just wanted to go over some of the other albums that you have. So if you look on Bandcamp and everywhere, if you're anywhere else, right, Jerry? So it's New York Girl, Fall in Love with Punk Rock Again, and Time Bomb, which is a live EP, and Unsafe at Any Speed. And then there's some singles too.
Yep.
So there's Gratitude, I Would've, and UFO Baby, and that's with Bride of Frankenstein. And then there's Three Ghosts. And then there's a little split. Yeah, then there's a split that you guys did with Controlled Chaos, which is Bad Habits, and Anxiety is the Controlled Chaos song. And, is there anything else you wanted to talk about the Downstrokes?
Don't forget about their 4-way split on Tuna for Sushi Records.
Yeah, we did a great 4-way split on Tuna for Sushi. Tuna, you stopped doing that.
Yeah, I still have other copies left. So
he's
still trying to sell the other ones.
We did that, and look, one of the things that we're going to be doing is we're going to be releasing singles off the new record for free.
Oh wow!
In the next few weeks, probably starting in June, we'll release to sort of work our way toward the release. We're super excited about this album. It's been a lot of work, and the amazing thing is that we've recorded 16 songs between the record and the split, and Robin and I are sitting here. We probably have 7 songs towards the new record.
Wow.
We haven't even learned all the new songs, like all the album songs. So a lot of times, like you're working things out. We were in rehearsal the other day, and we were working on one of the songs. We're working on a song called "This Is the Last Friday Night," which we changed the bridge when we were recording it in the studio, and none of us remember how the new bridge goes. So we're like, we can't rehearse this right now. We got to listen to it and figure it out.
Hey, just to clarify, though, it's not just Bandcamp. What are the other ways you can get your music?
You can check us out at the Downstrokes MD for Maryland, of course, on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us on Reverb Nation at the Downstrokes. You can find our website is the downstrokespunk.com. And then Savage Mountain Punk Arts. If you follow us on Instagram at SVGMTN Punk Arts or at SVGMTN Punk Arts at Facebook, you'll get lots of content. We have so many fun videos going on about the picnic. And the picnic, by the way, we're going to be picnic. I want to say this about the punk picnic. I don't know if this is going to air before that or not, Kenny. But
no, it's not.
Oh well.
I got a question for you. Man. It might take up some time. So, Jerry, what exactly are your influences, and how did you get into doing all this?
My influences, as I always say this: punk rock taught me everything. So whether I'm being a teacher, right? 'Cause that's what I do for my day job. I'm a professor. Or whether I'm talking about the poetry community or whether I'm talking the punk rock community, it's all about showing up. 90% of life is fucking showing up, right? And I learned that from my mom. My mom my mom was a rock and roll girl. She and my dad used to go to shows at the Paramount Theater in Brooklyn. But my mom, I play a show in New York. My mom will, get on a New Jersey Transit bus to Times Square to catch a subway to find where we're playing. I mean, my mom is right. So that's the first thing. Like, my mom is a big influence on me. You show up, you be part of a community. You don't be bored, right? My mother's motto is "Be game," which I love. So that's like whole life right there is that. Musically, my influences are all over the place. I love the Kinks. I love the Stones. I love early Beatles. I fell in love with punk rock. I love the Clash and the Damned. The Buzzcocks, but I'm a New Yorker, so if you don't give me the Heartbreakers and the New York Dolls, the Jim Carroll band, but I also grew up in the hardcore scene, so I love bands like Reagan Youth. I was actually the show we played last night. My friend Mark Renser, who was in Lech Patrol, was there. Steve Wishnia, the original bass player from the False Prophets, was there. I hadn't seen Steve since I was like 18 years old, It was just sort of, all right, so these people are just so close to the heart. They hear, so those people, Dick Manitoba and Jesse Malin in New York, are people who fostered
Dictators.
Dictators were great. When Dick, when I had an apartment, when my aunt lived 3 flights up from Dick, Manitoba. When I used to take care of her before she died, and she willed me that apartment. Dick was always there. We would talk all the time. And I would go to Manitoba's and just hang out when he had the bar. I'm also, I love the California bands. I mean, give me TSOL, give me the Avengers. Give me the Adolescents, and DI, X, and of course one of my all-time favorite bands is Stiff Little Fingers and Jake Burns. In my novel, when I wrote my novel, the publisher had me sort of excise all the lyrics because we couldn't afford the rights, and so Jake was kind enough to give me permission to use them for free because I would just reach out to him. So, and that again is that sort of community, right? That's the stuff I really love. If it's not doing it to be among good people and have good times with good music, what's the point?
Very well said.
So I got one more question I think I can squeeze in. So what's your favorite beer?
I can't drink beer. I can't digest it. I don't drink beer. I have no favorite.
Another one, Turner. We got another one in here.
I'm a whiskey drinker, and I'm a mezcal drinker. My favorite whiskey, shout out to my homeboys, right? McClintock Matchstick Rye. Drink it. It is amazing rye, smooth, sharp, lovely. There you go. But I can't drink beer, Kenny. Can't do it.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sorry I brought it up, dude. My bad.
We're getting ready to cut off here.
We do beer testing, Jerry. We do a little beer testing on the show. That's why I brought it up.
Well, next time, I'd known I would have had a shot of whiskey for you guys.
Well, we got like 30 seconds left, so we want to thank you for taking time.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here, man.
Yeah. Anything else you want to mention?
Jerry, it's an absolute pleasure. This is probably our best interview to date. I mean, we keep getting better at this, but we had a perfect fucking guest. I got to tell you, if anybody don't know, check out Savage Mountain, the Downstrokes. Hey, Jerry, real quick, you got any readings or anything, or when's your next show with the Downstrokes?
Next show with the Downstrokes, I think we're off for a while. I
love you, buddy.
The calendar's clear. I'm actually going to
pocket like I was looking to score. A worn leather jacket, my one defense. A worn leather jacket and no common sense. My dad said, son, today you know better. You grow up and be a corporate go-getter. That's not the life that I ever wanted when I walked the street feeling haunted and haunted. I wanted all, I wanted poetry. I want to love that girl, have her love me. A worn leather jacket and nothing more. A dollar in my pocket like I was looking to store. A worn leather jacket, my one defense. A worn leather jacket and no common sense. A worn leather jacket, my one defense. A worn leather jacket and no common sense. There's been no change now in the weather. I'm still out there and I'm still in leather. Between the Pacific and the Atlantic, still remain a hopeless romantic. Still want all I want poetry. I want to love that girl, have her love me. A worn leather jacket, nothing more. A dollar in my pocket like I was looking to score. A worn leather jacket, my one defense. A worn leather jacket and no common sense.
Man-Supersuckers. Before them, Streets of Rage by the Ravagers. You Can't Kill Joey Ramone-Sloppy Seconds. And Leather Jacket by the Downstrokes. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Mr. Gerry Lafamina. Not even drinking today. But check out the Downstrokes. Make sure you check out Savage Mountain Punk Fest. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a good one this year. Thank you for joining in. I'll see you all next episode. Go fuck yourself.